Welcome to the party stream. And it's just me tonight, guys. It's just me and you. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well. And welcome to... I can't. Oh, God. All right. Shall I bring him on? Shall I bring him? Who do I start with? Look at this idiot. You're right, Crypto.
Wagwan. I'm in Jamaica, man. I came to Jamaica to come on the beach.
Half your head's disappeared, man. Half your head's disappeared. and then we got freaking Miami boy here.
It's hot on this beach tonight.
And then we got freaking... He's got the rug out, man. He's got the rug out.
We got it, flaunt it. Deal with it, guys. Deal with it.
And then we got Rob.
I didn't get the shirt. I've been set up.
Apart from Crypto getting us cancelled in the first 5 seconds, we were all in a good mood, though.
Yeah.
Oh God! Well, Rob, if you'd gone on to Foco, if you guys want to go and get your wine shots, then
Right now.
Check them out, guys. Check them out.
I can't take these idiots seriously, man. I can't. So basically,
the sleeves.
You were begging for us to join you on the beach.
I've been on the beach. I haven't been a wuss, man. I've not been a wuss. I've been saying it's fine. Obviously, Rob is still scared, like a few hundred Forest fans. It's a 12-point goal difference. Oh my goal difference. But Crypto, how's that shirt fitting, mate?
I mean, it's a bit tight, so I can do the top.
Take the green screen off, man. You're literally you're disappearing like goddamn Moral's career, man.
I can do the top button up, and then it slowly gets wider and wider and wider. But it's kind of worse than that was the sleeves. I basically couldn't pull the sleeves on, so I had to cut them in half and just had to.
Any excuse to show those guns, eh, Crypto?
Yeah.
Oh
Worth
God.
showing as well.
That's not guns, mate. That's dairy milk. Pure 100% organic chocolate.
Rob looks like a Scot in Spain. Hey, Brucey in the house. Wacka wacka, mate. Wacka wacka. Yeah. Wait, Brucey's a wuss though. He's like, we're not safe. He's one of them. He's one of them.
Come on, Brucey.
I don't know. I'm trying to trigger him. I'm trying to trigger him. So are we all saying we're safe? Are we wacka wacka? Or
we'd dress up like this if we didn't feel we were safe.
I was dressed up like this since Fulham.
Like
what are you on about, Anne? I've been wearing this for the last 48 hours.
Okay.
I'm having trouble celebrating. It's like, you know when you go to like the theatre or something, right? And you're sitting in the middle of the road. And you really want a wee, right? But you have to hold it in for about an hour using your pelvic floor muscles, right? And you're really tense. And then finally you get to the interval and you go to the gents and you just can't go because you're still so tense. That's how I feel about our Premier League season. So that's why I can't quite celebrate, because it's been about 6 months of utter hell, and somehow losing 3-2 at home to Chelsea has not cured me of that.
But isn't it the most fitting way, Rob, to like literally define our season?
Yeah,
that it's been so bad that we lost to survive. Like, there's some irony in there.
All right, not the theatre then. Anything where you've got to hold it in.
Say, Rob, if it was me though, mate, I'd just get up and go to toilet. Fuck them.
That doesn't surprise me, Ad. Anyway, so I'm going to take about 2 to 3 weeks to unclench. So that's just how I work.
Oh God.
Esman, have you ever waxed your chest?
No, never waxed it, bro. I have trimmed it down a bit before, but
that's trimmed down.
Who could be offended by that? That's beautiful.
Ladies.
David Hasselhoff made a career out of it, mate. So I'm
But hey, listen, I've grown a beard for you guys. Don't expect him to grow ears on me, Ches, because it won't be happening. All right.
Can we have
a poll on whose outfit is most eye-catching? I think it's going to be Rob. But, you know.
Rob. You can only
have starting already. Anyway, we're here to celebrate.
What you mean is who looks best and who's got the biggest guns. That's what you mean, isn't it? I know where you're coming from.
Is that how you ride your motorbike, Crypto?
This is how I went out on my bike today. I was like, fuck the helmet. I'm on the beach. I'm on the beach. They can't catch me on my bike, so yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Grumpy Old Red. Well, no, sorry, Happy Old Reds. Here, minus Rob. I kind of know what he's saying, and it's like it's weird. It's not like last year. We beat Arsenal, go on the beach.
This is the thing, right? And I understand that people that didn't go to the game are saying, what are you on about? What are you on about? We're safe. Before the game, I said to the guys I was with, I don't care if we lose 5-0 today. I'm that fucking happy. We're up. I don't care if we lose 5-0. But you know, as the game went on and we were so good and we were playing so well and we went 2-1 up with about 10, 15 minutes to go, all of a sudden, you're enjoying it for a different reason. You're enjoying it because you're seeing Forest play well and winning a game against, Chelsea, who are spent massively on their squad and have been up and coming the last few weeks, wiping the floor with everybody. So we were happy. And then all of a sudden, they scored 2 goals and it went flat. It literally went flat. And normally after the game, last match of the season, as you know, everybody stays, everybody's cheering, everybody's walking out. And you know why? Yeah. And I don't blame them. You know why? Because we've had a shit season. If we're honest, it's been a shit season. We've stayed up by the skin of our teeth, and we've lost 3-2 so many times. To do it again on the last home game of the season was just one kick in the nuts too many for a lot of people.
When winning,
and
after winning,
why they were coming out of the ground and people were shaking their heads. Yeah. That's why. Just try and explain it a bit to you.
Yeah. Yeah, just check that stat for me, because I heard that all those games that we have lost 3-2, we took the lead in all of them. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And that was just fitting. I think you said it, Wolfie, but it was just such a reminder of how the season's gone. It was such an analogy of the season. And I needed to go to the toilet anyway, but I just couldn't stick around to see the players do the lap of honor and all that. I had to go, mate, because at times in that game, we were so on top. The period of play just before we scored the 2-1 goal, we were brilliant. Hit the woodwork 3 times. I didn't realise Yatesy's shot was clipped the post, but I knew it was close from the angle that I was at. But we totally dominated that period of play and deserved to go ahead. And then it's like the concentration level goes. But again, the substitutions, I think, played a part in how we actually ended up. But it was so frustrating, and I came out of it deflated, like most of the fans. I think half the fans had already walked out by this stage, and it's just so typical of how our season's gone. But having slept on it, I feel relieved. That's all I can say. I'm not celebrating really, but I'm relieved that it's out of the way, because barring an absolute, and I don't want people talking about games in the past, because that's a mentality we were stuck with for a long time. And I felt that second semi-final against Sheffield in the playoffs, I felt that kind of got rid of a few of those. So I don't want to go with that mentality again, and get back into thinking that. But barring a absolute disaster, we're safe. And as far as I'm concerned, we start looking forward to next season now. And just put this one behind us, because it's been awful. It's been awful.
Man, you lot are so negative.
Isn't it, man? Go on,
you lot are so negative. We were sat here last week. All we spoke about, all we cared about, all anybody cared about was staying safe. And all of a sudden, we stay safe, and then it turns to, we've lost to Chelsea. Who cares, man? Rebuild next season. We can rebuild next season. The football hasn't been great. We've lost games where we've been up. Who cares? We're Premier League for another year. It should be
no,
a
but Crip,
celebration.
I'm saying the football has been great. At times, the football's been fantastic.
But it's not been good enough
And we
to
haven't got
hold on to
results.
leads. There's been loads of things wrong with it. The set pieces, conceding too many goals. There was all of the drama the first half of the season with Matt Turner. It's been a shit show, really. But who cares? We're Premier League. At the end of the day, we're staying up unless there's some, three times.
There's no one less.
I did find a stat on Wikipedia. Luton Town have won 15-0 in the past. So, it was over 100 years ago, but there's potential there. We're up. We're staying up.
Look, wouldn't it be nice?
No more negative Nellies.
Wouldn't it be nice?
One more thing, Rob. If you went on Twitter yesterday, you would have think we'd been relegated.
Yeah.
People were crying. They were literally crying. Yeah. It's so negative. It's so negative.
Well, I didn't go on there, mate. It's ridiculous.
Right.
The atmosphere before the 80th minute was the best it's been all season. The noise sometimes it was that noise that makes your ears ring. It was
I know it was disappointing.
Even after
it was disappointing to lose, but we didn't care. If someone had said to you yesterday, right, all the teams lose today, that would guarantee us survival. You'd say, yeah,
we tweeted that.
I think you're misunderstanding. We were disappointed about the way the game went.
I understand that.
Well, no, not just that.
I don't think it should bash the party.
No, it doesn't. I've got me fucking shirt on.
I know, but tickets to Jamaica cost a lot of money.
Last year, we had a moment of joy and pride, right? And I think that everybody was hoping that we would get that again. Instead, what we've got is we've stayed up by losing due to something that West Ham did, and we are on course to stay up in the Premier League with a record low number of points, right? So
another record to the Reds, baby.
There's not a lot. There's no joy, and there's not a lot of pride. All there is relief. And I have to say, I find it difficult to get excited about relief. In fact, I'm still clenched until next week.
That's why we didn't send you a rush.
The thing I'm taking heart from is Luton are not capable of winning 6-0. We're well capable of losing 6-0. Stoke.
Wow. Burnley.
Wow.
Burnley.
When have we beaten Burnley? I've seen two games
6-0 to them
against Burnley this year, and we've not beaten them at our own ground twice. In fact, we didn't even have a shot on target in the League Cup game.
There's a big difference. Sorry.
I do. It's going to be another week.
It didn't say week, it said week.
This week. Are you genuinely going to be stressing this week?
No, you remember that? Right. Yesterday was on a par with that day when it was like one out of us, Blackburn, and Birmingham going down. Yeah. And we stayed up. The goal difference was the same. It was goals scored, right? Yeah. Now, we did at least win that game. So I was able to be sort of happy and relieved. But, up to about 80 minutes yesterday, I was thinking, wow, we've shown what we can do when the pressure's off. We've played Chelsea off the park. We've taken a major scalp. It all looks good for next season. We've shown what we can. Oh, we've just lost 3-2 again.
You know what? You lot talk like if Luton and Burnley had won yesterday and we'd won as well, that would have been better because we won the game. It wouldn't have been better because we wouldn't be staying up.
No, but it would have been better for the match-going fans that were there.
Do you know what was different about yesterday? I was trying to think back to a game where I felt a similar atmosphere, and I don't think I can think of one. Because from the beginning of the game, walking into the stadium, the atmosphere was unbelievable. Even when we went 1-0 down, we straight away we were singing. You couldn't hear the Chelsea fans cheering. We were singing. We didn't give up. It wasn't until, as Ant said, the game went the way it went, and then it was just you felt deflated at the end.
Yeah, you're allowed to be disappointed when you lose a game of football, aren't you?
Absolutely, because we were on top in that game. We had the best chances, as far as I'm concerned. We created the best football. Sometimes it was scintillating yesterday in that heat as well. It looked really good. It felt really good.
Are you not attaching the game and the scenario together? You're not putting preparation.
We were disappointed about the game, not. If Chelsea had played like us and we'd have played like Chelsea and they'd beaten us 3-2, it wouldn't have felt so bad. It's a fact we should have won that game.
Yeah, we knew.
Also, it's the way things unfurled yesterday, right? So about 20 minutes in, Luton and Burnley were both winning.
Yes.
And we were staring into an abyss, right? And so, yeah, fine. We got away with it in the least convincing way possible by West Ham actually turning up in the second half for Moyes. But I find it hard to celebrate a West Ham victory.
Well, I celebrated it.
On this occasion,
I celebrated
it.
I don't care.
I sang blowing bubbles and everything.
Leading up to the stadium as the results were coming through, and we were stood outside the fan zone where they had
it was massive.
They had Soccer Saturday on, or Soccer Saturday on this main screen.
So did you know the results going in?
We saw the results coming through, and the atmosphere when the full-time whistles went in those two games was unbelievable. That's why yesterday was so unique for me, because I've never been to a game where we knew we were safe, so the atmosphere was already a party mood. Because it didn't happen. I mean, obviously, if you were at Crystal Palace away, but I mean, at a home game like last season, I can't remember in my Forest supporting career an atmosphere like that from the beginning. And like I said, Ant said, it wasn't until the 80th minute that it got deflated once they scored that second goal. And it just like, you're thinking, because there were mistakes, you could see the mistakes that led to our goals, but all the hard work we'd done to get ourselves ahead in that game and how the atmosphere was, knowing we were safe, made a massive difference. It was something quite unique for me. Yeah.
I gotta say, the comments are on fire, man.
I don't know if Ant's been to a game like that. You know, the year we won the league championship, did we win it before the last game? And was the last game at home?
Yeah, we won it away at Coventry.
I tell you what, if I knew 0-0. If I knew you lot were going to be so miserable tonight, I would have.
Who's miserable?
I would have worn all black instead, like I'm going to a funeral.
Miserable,
we just stayed up in the Premier League.
Disappointed at that particular.
You are a little miserable. You are a little miserable.
If you go to any funerals, mate, just don't take any selfies. Yeah, just remember that. Sorry, carry on. What are you saying about?
Anyway, let's do this.
Roll the tumbleweed emoji.
Carry on.
There's a viewer. We know.
Let's do the selfies, the freaking super chats. Marky boy, thank you for the £5. Points deduction, he gives an F. The Reds to stay here. Crypto, stop it! Bloody hell! Thank you, Mark. Apologies for Crypto's incompetence there, man. Appreciate it. Cheers, Mark. This is going to be one of those streams, isn't it? Chris with the 16 months. Thank you so much, Chris. Even the missus has a bikini on. Oh my God. Change your profile picture, Chris. Change your profile picture.
Any videos? Anyway, come on.
Chris with the £2. Rob needs a flyer. He's lost his head. I couldn't agree more. He's so miserable, mate. He's grumpy. He's perfect. And Nick with the 20. Nick, thank you so much. Love and appreciate all the work and effort you boys put into this channel. Have beer on me when you're next together. Waka waka. I can't wait to come up to Nottingham, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully get the old
let
clear.
us know when it is, because then we know when to go away, don't we?
Even better, even more incentive to come up. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. That's way too generous of you, Nick. You're too kind. Okay. Yeah, in it, man. Go see that fat James Corden in there. Well, we still got a chance against Notts Forest. Mathematically. Anyway, okay. I was gonna say something.
You're not making enemies tonight.
Believe me, the Luton fan base is gonna hate me. I'm gonna have dartboards made against me when I'm done with them at the end of next week, man. They're gonna get it. Okay, so just very quickly, if you do want your signed, framed Elanga Hudson-Odoi double framed thingy-majiggy from Football Prizes, there's still a few tickets left. They've gone like crazy. The link's pinned in the chat. Hudson-Odoi, what a player. And you get to get his signed frame, and I guess Elanga's if you're that way inclined with them as well. But can we talk about Hudson-Odoi?
Shall I make my joke again about that's the second prize? The first prize is just the Callum Hudson-Odoi shirt.
We got a tumbleweed ready, mate.
Yeah, here we go. Yes, first one of the night.
First one of the night. No doubt of many more to come. Sharky with the £5 bloody pillocks. A lot of you. Honestly, Sharky, apart from crypto, I don't know what's wrong with these lot, right? That's what I was going to do. The poll, right? in fourth place on the poll is who looks the best, right? Ez.
Oh, you jealous bastards, man. It's a here, isn't it?
I'm shocked.
The ladies ain't liking it. Huh? They're not like you finished behind Rob. You got 9% of the vote, yeah?
Rob, keep my deposit.
Rob, who didn't even try, got 23% of the
wow.
vote.
1 in 4 of our audience think Rob looks the best tonight. Well,
maybe he's just naturally good looking. Who knows? Maybe. Second place was Crypto with 30% of the vote. And suddenly Ant's gone all puffy chest out with 38% of the vote. It goes to Ant. Man, chat, you must be on the old sauce, man. You love. Oh, he's unpopped another button. Anyway, let's talk.
Esna's here, though, I'm afraid. It's just pure skin.
It's the rug that puts them off. Voted Esbra. Okay, let's get into the football, right?
I reckon it's 23% of women that are women, Ez, that voted for you. That's what it is, mate.
Yeah, he got 9%. That's pretty embarrassing.
He got 9.
9. Yeah, Rob got 22.
9% of our audience are women. Then Ez, is he there?
I'm here. I'm just.
He's Rob Edwards.
I was going to wax my chest after that last comment. I'll keep it.
That might get you to double figures.
You know what he was saying before the stream, people? He was saying, David Hasselhoff made a career out of this.
But he did.
All right. Let's go all serious, right? Let's talk about. I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying. If I've taken the tone right, that we played well. I thought it was one of our better performances of the season, to be honest. Classic mistakes as always cost us. Shout out to Harry Tuffler and Chris Wood. But I want to start with some positives, Rob. Hudson-Odoi, man. This guy, 2.5 mil. Now I've seen quotes saying he's worth 40 mil. He's just getting better and better, isn't he?
Well, I think the best thing he's done this season is he's pretty much stayed fit for the whole year. And that is an achievement for somebody who's had the severe injury problems he's had in the past. But I thought what was really interesting yesterday is that for about 70 minutes, he kept going on his left foot. And he showed what he can do. He put in some really good crosses. And eventually, when it was time, he switched back onto his right and it's in. And they must have known he was going to do that at some point. But he successfully got their guard down. And then there was, I think the time that he did actually score, it comes to him and he's got a little bit more space than the previous times. The defender's not that tight to him. Thinks, right, I'm going to do it. And it's just on the pixel, isn't it? It's such, with just the right amount of swerve, keeper at full stretch. The only annoying thing is that Raheem Sterling went and did the same goal about 5 minutes later, but we'll skip that bit for now.
He's crap. But he's crap. Simon Jones, I'm not hearing it. He's crap.
He was the danger. He always scores against us. So we wrote him off and we jinxed it. But anyway, I think Hudson-Odoi, he's stayed fit. I want to know if he can play in other positions, though. I want to know if he could play on the right, maybe. And I want to know if he could even play in the middle. The problem is that since he's made that left wing his position, and he's practically first on the team sheet, Ilanga's got nowhere to go. Because Ilanga was good in the first half of the season when he was getting games on the left. And it just, for whatever reason, since he's been out on the right, he's not produced the same form. And I think that is something we're going to have to address in the transfer market. But, I mean, Hudson-Odoi kind of gives me hope because we're talking about which or both of Murillo and Gibbs-White we're going to lose over the summer. But having Hudson-Odoi does give me some hope over next season because just imagine if he gets even better. He could be.
Yeah,
He could. I think he's a little bit unlucky that he's not in the frame for the Euros this summer.
Oh bloody hell! You're jumping some now.
No. I think if he was sort of Scottish or Irish or whatever, he would be the star player of that team, right?
So would you.
No, but it's only because that Foden is in that position. You know, they got Foden, Grealish, or whatever. There's big competition there, right? But he's unlucky to have thrown his lot. Remember, he has actually played for England in the past, full England as well, when he was a Chelsea player. So I just think it's a bit unfortunate for him, really, because if he was not English, he's probably done enough to get into plenty of other squads for the Euros.
Well, I don't know if I agree with, and I don't think a lot of the chat are agreeing with you, Rob, in terms of seeing if he can play in other places. If he's so hot while being so predictable, even though I thought he went outside quite a lot yesterday, it's the most I've seen him go outside. Like, why do we need to try him somewhere else? Why don't we just get better players in that position?
If you've got a player that's playing brilliantly in his position, for God's sake, leave him in that position. Don't weaken two positions.
No, I'm just saying it's more a case of we need someone on the right. Yeah,
but don't.
We got the
and Elanga.
You know, Mo Salah and Bukayo Saka, they made their careers out of playing on the opposite side to their natural foot, and cutting and scoring goals.
Yeah,
so that's exactly what. And everybody knows he's going to do it. Yesterday, I was laughing because we knew he was going to do, and they just can't stop it. Same as they can't with Saka and they can't with Mo Salah. So no, leave him where he is. He's doing a good job. Leave him where he is. If we need to find another right winger, find another right winger.
Do we need another right winger, Ant? Let's talk about Elanga. I'm sorry, but he's not it. He's not it.
No, he's not consistent enough.
I would say yes, we do need another right winger. Listen, Elanga's okay to have in the squad to bring on to cover for Tro. You know, great, brilliant. And he's only 15 mil, which pretty much doesn't even get you a reserve these days in the Premier League. So it's not like it's money wasted. Yeah. It's not like it's 40, 50 mil. Yeah. So yeah, by all means, keep him in the squad as a cover, but not to start. Not the way he's been for the last 6 months anyway. It's been really dreadful, really poor.
What do you think it is? It's since he's had that injury. I don't think he's as quick. I don't. He's not burning past people anymore. Is he still recovering? We've been a little harsh.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Sorry, I think you're right. He hasn't come back from his injury with any sort of form whatsoever, and it's to a point where he's almost a liability, and you're always looking like Crypto was looking for options to replace him, because I don't know if the formation really worked yesterday. Obviously, he was dropped, and we had a extra centre back, but I don't know if the formation worked in transitions at times yesterday. But Elanga's got a lot to prove, but he's got a lot of potential still. He's still young. He's certainly not one to write off, but he needs some stiff competition because we were struggling to find somebody who would replace him, ideally in our squad at the moment. And you're looking at trying to push maybe somebody like Nico Williams if he's fit into that right wing position. Yeah. But we do need competition there down that side. We've gone from a point of strength, and I don't want to open up the argument about Brennan Johnson because he's not there anymore. But he was replaced. The first half of the season, Elanga did a job. It's just since that injury, he's not come back with, like I said, any sort of form whatsoever. But he's certainly not one to give up on. And like I said, 15 million. You know that for what he's returned for that. If we know at the start of the season, 15 million is going to get you 12 goal returns or what, 13 I think he's had, hasn't he? He's got from what he scored and what he's assisted. You would have been happy with that. You would have been happy with that for
he already paid off that 15 million because it's kept us in the league. So
I wouldn't give up on him. I mean, he definitely was better.
Is that because you paid for his shirt?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely better on the left.
He's on a roll.
What Cho's been clever at doing is he's obviously spent a bit of time on FIFA. And he's just R1 shooting it into the top bins every game. So if Elanga spends this summer on FIFA 24, then he'll be all right.
Yeah, he should be doing it from the other side. Definitely.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wouldn't give up on him.
He can't do it. He's right-footed.
Man United gave up on him, if you remember. And I think he's got something to prove, but I think he just needs time. Because he was brilliant to begin with. He was fast. He was getting assists. He was scoring goals. But once that confidence is shot, in a similar way to Chris Wood. We know what Chris Wood can do. Confidence is gone, and all of a sudden he's missing sitters game after game. I think something's happened there with Elanga in a similar way. He's obviously lost a bit of confidence, whereas Cho has done the opposite. If you go back 3 months, we were saying Cho is a confidence player. So Cho's gone and got the confidence. Elanga and Chris Wood have almost lost a bit of confidence, but we know that they're good players. So I wouldn't give up on them. Now, I would still bring a winger in the summer transfer window, but I think you could probably try and find someone who can kind of interchange between both of them. But I'd keep him. He's young. What is he, 21? He's one of the fastest. He's one of the fastest players in the league. I wouldn't give up on Elanga at all. I think when he's in form, he's a really good player.
It's just it's such a shame we didn't have them both on form at the same time at any stage of season. Because like I say, Elanga started off the season on fire, and then Cho's ended the season on fire, but both of them have been worthy additions and absolute bargains. Obviously, Cho more than Elanga from a financial point of view, but both positive for the future going forward. I mean, Elanga's little flick that set up Cho's goal that got MG dub, and it was Elanga's flick, wasn't it, in that move? So he's played his part in certain games, and he needs to obviously have that run of games, get that confidence, but also keep both of them fit. That was the key thing. So we didn't have them both fit throughout the season, and we've not had them both informed throughout the season. But next season, there's positives. Honestly, that's the thing I want to get to talking about at some point, because there has been that argument about we would have been just as we would have got the same results under Cooper and nothing's changed under Nuno. But I really want to argue that point. I think.
Okay, well, let's get on to that. I want to talk about Nuno because there has been a lot of Nuno outs across social media. We have a poll going on the community tab for Nuno in out. I'm Nuno in, but if people are Nuno out, cool. It's everyone's prerogative. There's a couple on here who are Nuno out. We're going to discuss it. But if you could please vote on the community tab, I want to collate the feel of the viewership on that one. Just before we get into that debate, and there's still a lot of players we need to talk about, let's just catch up on the super chats. Sai with the £2. Nuno great with preventing injuries to our players. It has improved significantly apart from Taiwo. And again, that's something Dave told us.
You looked fat and slow yesterday. Bloody
we'll come on to the strikers. We're definitely going to talk strikers. This fucking computer. All right, I'm back. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, computer froze. Bring on the new PC. Few more days. Okay, so just a quick couple of reminders, chat. If you haven't hit that like button, please do it now. 119 likes. We got about 700 in across all platforms. Get those likes done so we can stop moaning to you guys about it. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new. And also the tickets for the Elanga Hudson-Odoi, you got a few of those left. And if you want to join the party stream, get your Hawaiian tops. Anything on Foco with code FFTV15 will get you 15% off. I've put the link in the chat. Go get your Hawaiian tops because screw what Rob says. We are on the beach. Okay, let's get this started. Okay, on Nuno. I think, look, we've always talked about when Cooper wasn't doing well and what have you. Me and Rob had the in-out debate, etc. I just want to get a feel now for where everyone is on Nuno. I think I know where you guys are. So I want to start with the ones who are Nuno out or close to being Nuno out on the panel and ask why. Okay. Just before we start, a couple more super chats so we can focus on the debate. Sebastian with the £5. Thank you so much. Only here for Rob. Bang average content until he joined this channel. Am I right?
What are you talking about? Sebastian, but yeah, thanks.
And he's the third best looking one on the panel according to the poll as well. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for the £5. And talking of good looking,
I didn't put himself in that. Yeah, in that poll.
Is that your burner go? Talking of good looking people, Matt SB with the 199. There's so much love going on for Rob here, man. Looking good, fellas. Rob especially. Matt, we gotta do some collabs together. It's been a while. Make sure you subscribe to Matt. He's flying. I think he's over 60 odd K now as well. So he's just flying, Matt, flying. So congratulations to Matt. Hopefully Coventry get up next year. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
And Bill with the 18 months. Thank you so much, Bill. Okay, let's get into this. I'll do a poll on this. By the way, you lot in the chat said 67% think Elanga is good enough. 33% said no. Right, as far as I know, you're Nuno out. And yeah. Okay. Oh, he's gone back on the fence. He's in.
Kinda, yeah.
Rob, you're on the fence.
Total fence.
Full
Total
fence. Crypto, you're a happy clapper.
Kind of.
Okay. So between Rob and Ant, oh God, I can't believe it's going to be easy. Why are you on the fence, if not leaning towards out? What is it at the moment with Nuno?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. I'll be quick. Look,
Very polite of you, Rob.
Well, otherwise he'll interrupt me.
and what makes you think I won't interrupt you even if I've had my say?
That's a valid point.
Rob, Ant will interrupt you when Ant's speaking. You won't even say
Rob, if you're talking crap, I feel the need to interrupt.
Wait, all I will say is if you're Nuno out, I'm all for you guys being Nuno out. But do not ever say David Moyes, please.
No.
I mean, I can't. I mean,
David Moyes has a 40% win rate at Everton.
Right, you shut up. Ant's going first, definitely. Then you can talk about David Moyes in a minute. That rhino's ass skin.
Hey, he kept us up. Respect to David Moyes. He saved our football club.
True. All right, let's talk about Nuno. And
yeah, I mean, I was very, very up for getting rid earlier on. That was frustration at us continually conceding the same sort of goals, continually losing in the same fashion, continually disappointing. He's made some stupid, in my opinion, and a lot of other people, to be fair, some stupid choices of formation and personnel. He's also made some awful substitutions. So I was kind of, he's no better than Cooper kind of mode. And the actual fact, his record is no better than Cooper's.
No,
very little in
lie.
it.
Fake news.
Very little in it, I said.
Carry on.
Okay, yeah. So, but I have to concede, obviously, that he has been really up against it, particularly with AFCON, with PSR, with VAR, with injury problems. You know, he has had a tough time of it. So I'm kind of willing to let him convince me to give it another go. If we start next season negatively, then get him out. Okay? So I'm willing to give him a go because of the conditions that he was up against. That's it. That's where I'm at. I'm not a big fan at all.
Do I need to re-quote your tweet from the other day?
You're backtracking.
Me?
Yeah.
My tweet. You can do, yeah.
So are you coming back on your stance from the tweet from the other day?
What was it? I can't remember it.
Oh, freaking! All right,
your tweet out of this club or something. That's because you put Yates in the side.
Okay, but Yates was on the side yesterday. All right, here we go. And I quote verbatim: "Get this twat Santo out of my club." Angry emoji face. I love Yatesy, but he's not fit to lace Dominguez's boots. Any manager who picks Yates over Dominguez in any capacity should be axed immediately.
Actually, you reminded me of that. Fucking get him out. You're right. He picks Yates over Dominguez. Sorry, that's it. I'm serious. That's it. Anybody who picks Yates, and he did it again on Sunday.
Know, apparently Dominguez is getting sold.
Yeah, obviously, because that twat Nuno don't like him. So get him out.
So you go from the fence to out? Is that what you're saying?
Talked himself out of it.
I have to do what I like.
I feel like I talked him into going out. All right, Rob, you had a similar statement. Yeah. If we concede another corner goal, then sack him immediately. And again, we have receipts here, and I quote verbatim from Rob. He says, I'm just pricing. No, that's the wrong text. Sorry. Goal from corner, Nuno fired. End of quote.
Was that the Man City game or a different
Yeah,
one?
Man City.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so as far as I'm concerned, he's out of a job. But if he'd won yesterday, or indeed if he wins against Burnley, I'm willing to give him a chance. But I think if we lose against Burnley, I think there's just going to be such a negative feeling. Look, what nobody wants is another season like this one, right? And I think you have to try to understand whether the season that we had was due to Nuno, or whether he's actually coped very well with all the crap that's been thrown at us and at him. And it's probably some combination of those. He's made mistakes, right? His substitutions have been bad. He's, for some reason, not picked Dominguez. He picked Origi way too many times. But he's done some other things very well. He's got the best out of some players, as we've said many times, Chris Wood and Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think that the pool of candidates available is the same one as before. As far as I can see, Lopetegui's going to West Ham to take over from Moyes. Harry Potter is still available. Glasner went to Palace. So, I mean, yeah, but come on, it's probably a short list. It's not going to be, if somebody came in, I don't think it would be a name from left field. And I have to say, when we were having the Cooper discussion, I wasn't really excited about any of those. The one thing that I think is in Nuno's favour is that given Wolves, shall we say, a similar size of outfit to us, choosing my words carefully, he had a long, successful run there, right? So he's at least, in the case of Cooper, he'd brought us up from the Championship. So we had hope that he could keep the winning run going. Whereas Nuno can say, look, I've done this. It's on my CV. So that gives me some hope. I think for me, can he get a win in the last game? And then can he persuade Gibbs White and Murillo to stay and to build a team around them? If they all start buggering off, I think we could be in for a replay of this season. Honestly, because how many points has Murillo been worth? How many points has Gibbs White been worth? If they both go and we don't make substantial replacements, we could be getting 15 points next year. So that's the
You
question.
made him cry. You made him cry.
Are those players willing? Do those players want to stay and play for Nuno next year? Is the question.
Can I just say as well, look, Murillo's going. Morgan
No,
Gibbs
he
White
isn't. We've had this discussion.
Murillo is going. He's Brazilian. He's going.
So Danilo's going.
Right.
Let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic. Right. As you're Nuno in last time I checked in with you.
Yeah.
You still Nuno in?
Yeah, because I'm going to look at the balance of what I said back. I'm not going to be revisionist, but look at what I said at the beginning when he came in and what I'd settle for at the end of the season. And that was staying above that dotted line. And that's what he's achieved. It's the bare minimum, granted. It's the bare minimum. But if those points deductions, add those back on. And, we're safe with a couple of games to go. But everything he's had to deal with, and Rob's alluded to them all, but I don't know if he's saying that gives him an excuse, because I'm saying it does give him an excuse. So with all that happening behind the scenes, in front of the cameras, and everything that we know about and we don't know about, I think he's come out of it with the bare minimum. The criticisms have got to be his in-game management. Too many occasions has been reactive and not proactive. And even yesterday, watching him on the side, at one point he was going to bring Sangare on, then he decides not to. He switches to a back four when I don't.
Yeah, Sangare didn't come on, did he? Because
he had him ready. He had him stripped and ready. Yeah, and sat him back down. Obviously, when they got the equaliser. But saying all that, it's reactive again. So he's not done the right things in game that I would expect from somebody of his experience. But off the field, he's dealt with a lot. And I think for that reason alone, the conversation has to happen, obviously, as it would do with your boss at the end of the year. You have your annual review. look back over what you set your targets as when you came in and what you actually achieved. And like I said, he's achieved the bare minimum, but with a lot of mitigating factors as far as I'm concerned. So the conversation has got to be what he can bring to what he can achieve over the summer, what players we can bring in, what's his scouting network looking like, who are we linked with, what can we do? Those conversations have to happen. And if they're not positive conversations from Mr. Marinakis' point of view, then he's got to look elsewhere. But to be down on Nuno or say he's been a failure, I don't think he has been. I think he's dealt with a lot and he's achieved the bare minimum. But the bare minimum was to stay in a division, and we've achieved that. So for that reason alone, I think he deserves another chance. But I wouldn't be opposed to somebody else coming in at the same time. So I'm not that Nuno in, but I couldn't see him being replaced. Do you think?
Can I ask you?
It's almost a fancy position, but it's not. You know, I know
what you're saying. And I said on my video today, I don't know if you saw it, but I don't think he's connected on a personal level with the fan base. I don't know if you agree with that. Yeah, I'm not saying
first Nuno chant yesterday, but that's because we stayed up. First time there was his name chanted.
What I'm saying, I didn't like the cheesy extreme that Cooper took it to. Yeah, it was like all this. But there's a balance with Nuno. For me, it feels not staged, but enforced.
Contrived a little bit.
Yeah. I felt that. The Wolves fans loved him, though, didn't they? They loved him.
Yeah, he was their Cooper.
But on a personal level as well as a sort of professional level, if you like. Can I just say about this thing about bare minimums, and this is not having a go or anything, but bare minimum being surviving. I think for me, that's a false thing to judge somebody. It should be number of points, because we survived. Literally, because Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield United are shit. Not because we did well. We survived on the lowest ever points. Any other year, we'd have gone down. So for me, that's not a success. Because if we do it again, we'll go down.
But
that's my only point on that criteria. That's my only point on that.
But there's a lot of psychology you can take into that. If we hadn't had the points deduction, maybe our mentality in games would have been different. You know, we would have won more games, picked up more points. So it's a hard one to judge it on. Yeah. But like I said, like you guys said at the time, because I was given a points tally when I was talking about staying up. But as Anne quite rightly said at the time, it's not about the points, it's about the position. So the bare minimum was to stay above that dotted line, and we have done. And I say I don't want to keep repeating myself, but for that, he's not a failure. For achieving that, he's not a failure. But in other aspects, he could do better, without a doubt.
Yeah, but by your standard, but whose standard should it be judged on?
I'm sure Marinakis' standard would have been similar. What would he have realistically expected?
Top 10. Top 10. We know that. Callum Hudson-Odoi came. No, I mean, granted, not when Nuno came in. Granted, and the PSR stuff. But all right, Crypto, where are you on this? Freaking Undertaker.
This is like depressed old Reds, not happy old Reds. You lot.
Come on.
I'm saying this, right? Rob points out that he doesn't like his substitutions, and I get that. I think that's a fair point, but he doesn't have that many options. We argued last stream about if you take Elanga off, who goes on the right? The natural replacement is Origi. That's just how it is. If Wood's not in form, the natural replacement's Awoniyi, but he's been injured. So he's got problems. I would give him the summer window to bring in the players he wants in the positions that he thinks he needs to strengthen. And what I would base the start of next season on is I want to see us beat teams who we should beat on paper. Because I'm fed up of losing to teams around us. I don't think it's acceptable. Yeah. Why do we play better against the bigger teams? Yeah. We played well against Man City. Yeah, we lost. We played well against Chelsea, but I know we lost. That needs fixing. But when we play against teams who are in the bottom 5, 6, we just lose to them, and we don't even play well. It's like we don't even care.
It's like we take it too lightly going into the game.
Yeah, it's like we don't take it seriously. Yeah. So what I want to see is I want to see Nuno have the summer, and then we don't know the fixture list, but I want Marinakis to make a decision within the first 5 to 10 games. If it's not working, then get him out early. Don't delay. Don't give him half the season.
Crypto, I absolutely 100% understand this attitude, and I've seen it from a lot of football fans about give the manager this summer to see if he can get it right. That's a hell of a risk, you know. To give the manager all the money.
Risk, but we swap managers.
Give the manager all the money, let him buy his players, and then he's not good enough, so you sack him. He left with all that shit.
Yeah, but I think we've got a decent recruit. I think we've got a decent recruitment team.
I don't think the manager should be picking. Should be in charge of.
Not solely. Anyway. Not solely. But I want to see the recruitment team, the coaching team, the managers team bring in the right players.
Yeah.
Fill the positions where we have a weakness or there's frequent injuries, and then they have a whole preseason. Nuno hasn't had a preseason with these players. Look at what he's done for players like Callum Hudson-Odoi, for Boly. He's brought them on as players. If he had a preseason with these players, I think he could do a good job. And if he doesn't do a good job, then don't give him a long chance. 5 or 6 games in, if you're not playing the football that the people want to see and you're not getting results, then look for someone else. Give it to a temporary position to Stephen Reid until a new manager comes in.
You've got to get him in, haven't you? You've got to get him in.
We're going on holiday together, mate. We're on the beach. Look, I think it's unfair. I think Nuno has been dealt a bad hand, and I think it would be unfair to. I think it would be unfair to say you've saved us from relegation, unless we lose 12-0 next week. But you save us from relegation, and actually your reward for that is to do one. I don't think that's very fair. But at the same time, I can understand both sides.
Bournemouth did it. Bournemouth did it, and look where they are now.
Well, I can understand. I can understand both points of view. He hasn't done amazing. He hasn't done brilliant. He does make some mistakes. His subs are annoying. They're late, but I think he's got the chance there. I think he needs to be given a chance. And if it all falls apart at the start of the season, then blame me and I'll go and manage them instead.
The thing is that what you want to be doing? You want to be giving somebody you're not sure about a chance rather than going for a manager.
I'm more sure about him than I'm not. So if we bring in a different manager, none of these players are his. There's problems in the side. There's players who.
But then if you do that mid-season, like you're saying, Chris,
I'm not. That's the point. I'm not saying mid-season. I'm saying early on, first 5 to 7 games. I don't want it to be mid-season.
But then you're making it sound like he's on his last chance.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of is on his last chance.
Well, then just sack him.
Yeah, but we don't want another.
The more we're talking, the more I think.
We always say that we gave. We always say on here that we gave Cooper too long. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But he went halfway through.
Are we not about if what you're saying is right that he's on his last chance? Then wouldn't we be about to make the same mistake again?
No. Wait, you need to clarify that point. He's not on his last chance. Look, you're saying for you, Crypto.
I'm saying that. So look. Cooper was same old tactic every week. It wasn't working, but he didn't see it. He didn't make changes. Nuno has been getting some of the tactics okay, some of the starting lineups okay, but I think, and he does make changes to try and improve things, but he's been dealt a bad hand, and then obviously his weaknesses are things like making the wrong substitutions, making them too late. But the actual general gameplay, we've seen how well we can play when we have a good game. It's these little things we need to iron out. The set pieces, they've been getting a tiny, tiny bit better. Iron those out. When we take the lead and go 2-1 ahead, losing 3-2 should be unacceptable. But at the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game of football. Like you can't magic a win every match. So I think he needs more time. I think he just needs a pre-season with the players. Because if we bring in another manager, none of them are going to be his selections. The whole team's going to be, broken up again. It's all that change for them, just as they're getting used to Nuno, and then you're going to change it all for the players again. I just don't. I think they need some kind of, I
think whoever it is, if you're going to back him, you got to back him. You can't be this 1 foot in, 1 foot out with him. You got to give him the whole season if you're going to give it him. Because otherwise we're in the same situation, aren't we? We're in the same situation.
You can't do that.
January.
You can't give somebody the whole season. If he loses 5 matches on the trot at the beginning of the season, you can't say you're going to give him the whole season. That's what Man U do.
So if that's all, that's you can say about any manager, can't you? 5 games away from getting a sack.
Yeah,
so
you can.
You know,
this is the point here, though, Ant. Ariola, have you say it, didn't win his first 10 games.
Yeah, but it won't be his first 10 games.
Yeah, but Bournemouth had no choice. There's no way they could sack him, pay him off, and get another one. They couldn't do it.
But also, you could see his thinking. True. You could see the game plan. They just weren't hitting their marks. Everybody who watched them in that period said the same thing. And obviously, like I said, it proved out they were comfortably safe in this season, and then they can build.
Let's try this next season. I mean, look at Derby. It was brilliant last season. Yeah. It's crap this season.
Absolutely, and you can say the same with Wolves. You know, let's see how the PE teacher does next season.
Yeah,
but the fact of the matter is, they seem to be that step where we want to be. I want to be where they are this season. That's how
I think one huge consideration as well is that, let's say they are considering bringing in a new manager. Who is it? Because unless it's somebody who you know is definitely going to be better.
Mourinho.
If it's
why are people saying Mourinho? Are you actually serious on that?
I'm serious, mate. I would not put it past Mr. M to approach Mourinho for this role.
I don't think
one of the first things he did when he came to the UK when he took over Chelsea.
He's going to be too expensive, isn't he?
He's there's only one manager.
To take over a project. Nottingham Forest. Chelsea was a project. Chelsea were nowhere near being challenging for titles when Abramovich took over and he brought Mourinho in. They weren't close. They had a couple of good seasons in the cup runs and stuff like that, but they weren't the team that he turned them into.
They were very average. Very average side.
Look, I'll tell you what, my stance is he stays. Yeah, he gets a pre-season. But I swear to God, if we play a pre-season game in front of a fucking white van again, and we're not on one of these Premier League tours where we're playing
Cooper's pre-seasons, though. Cooper's
pre-season. Yeah, but it's not Cooper that organises it, surely not.
He's got to be part of it, surely.
I don't know, but we need to be playing Premier League teams. We saw Fulham and Brentford going to the America thing last year. Yeah, playing against Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea, and all that. Having proper pre-seasons, man.
Embarrassing, mate. It's literally embarrassing.
Yeah. We're like a non-league team. We're fucking playing Notts County and Barnsley.
We've got a League One pre-season schedule. That's what we've been having.
Exactly. It's a joke, right? So for me, the pre-season needs to be fixed. The only consideration I would have to get rid of Nuno would be if my number one choice became available, and who's always been my number one choice, and that's Silva from Fulham. Because obviously he's got the connection thing. Outside of that, I'm happy with Nuno, and I think Nuno should stay. And I just look at his...
Every time you slightly convince me that, maybe he does deserve it. I keep coming back to he picks Yates over Dominguez.
Yeah, okay.
Every manager's picked Yates.
And every argument. That argument's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Because name me one of those managers who's managing in the Premier League or equivalent that picked Yates. Yeah,
they're all sacked.
They're all shit. It's the dumbest argument.
I know, but he's going to pick Yates. It's just
but ignore it. I'm not talking about the Yates thing. I'm talking about Nuno, right? When you look at the players he's progressed, I think Ez touched on it earlier. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Nico Williams, Einar's looking really good. He got goals out of wood. Cooper couldn't do that, yeah? And
that's got Matt Selzen.
He got Matt Selzen, exactly. He addressed the Turner thing. What did we hear Cooper say about Turner? Well, I'm paraphrasing, but we don't knock him down. We help him build him up, or whatever it was. No, you freaking knock him down and you chuck him out the club, man. That's what you do as someone like Turner, right? He addressed it and changed it. But I just want to get to the point with you, Rob, what you said. Like, I feel if we lose to Burnley at the weekend, you're Nuno out. Can you really judge it on one game that's on a beach?
Well, right. Look at it this way. A few games ago, we were saying, how many points do we need to be safe? And we were mapping it out. And we were saying, is a win and 2 draws enough? And, we were settling on numbers like 32 points, right? Now, if we lose against Burnley, it means that we've finished the season on 29 points, 3 points short of what we said was going to be enough. So it's only the fact that Luton lost all those games.
No, that's Steve.
That mean that we say no
with an asterisk. Don't forget the asterisk, mate.
The thing is, right? What you're saying is like I will not. I don't really agree with the statement that he's kept us up, right? Because it's other results by other teams.
Wait, Rob, let me challenge you on
no.
that. Let me challenge you on that.
Right,
Do
we
you
won at
think?
Sheffield? Big
We've been
deal.
dog-
I'm sorry.
Wait. Hold on. Do you think? Let's just say Cooper hadn't been sacked, and we played Newcastle away and Man U at home, for example, 6 points. Do you think Cooper would have got those 6 points? Obviously, it's all hearsay.
Maybe not those, but I think that right. Okay, we're not going down this. This leads to despair. But I think some of those 3-2s we've had would have been 1-0s under Cooper. Just putting it out there. Putting it out there. People would have complained about the style of play, but I'm just putting that out there. I think obviously the problem with Cooper, he had to go.
1-0 wins or 1-0 losses.
Cooper lost the
1-0
dressing room.
wins. 1-0 wins.
No,
right?
Cooper didn't win games. That's not true. Rob.
Yeah.
Hang on. Right. Cooper beat Arsenal and Liverpool at home last season.
Yeah, that's 2
Last
games.
season.
Very
Very
quick
season.
to get there.
Hang on, 2 out of 38. How many more?
Anyway, I don't want to look. There's no profit in going there because he's not coming back.
Right, yeah.
And
I'm not saying Cooper. I'm just saying if we, in particular, I'm saying what you said about your point that
I will
Nuno
clarify.
didn't keep us
If
up.
we
I'm
finish
saying
on
Newcastle,
20
Man U.
If we finish on 29 points, we need to be honest with ourselves that we've fallen short of what we thought that we needed, and we're bloody lucky. And therefore, can we look at that as a success of the manager? Because in a different world, where James Ward-Prowse doesn't score that goal on 60 minutes yesterday, in a different world, suddenly that 29 points is not enough.
Yeah, but Rob, you could say that about anything. You could say in a different world, Wood scored.
Crypto, because the point is, the point is that 29 points would be the lowest ever that you survived.
Yeah, I know. But
It's not that you can't rely on this, that, and the other.
Right.
That's fact.
The question was, what's the significance of the Burnley game? Right. What I'm saying is, if we win at Burnley and we get 32 points, personally, I will feel job done by Nuno. Yeah. If we lose at Burnley and we get 29 points, I think you lucky bastard.
Rob, what about the 4 points we've had deducted? We're inferior.
We knew about those when. Right, if you roll back to what we were saying, if you roll back to what we were saying 5 games ago, we were mapping it out and saying, "Are we going to stay up? How nervous are you? How many points do we think?"
Yeah, and I also said that they wouldn't get another 3 points. But the teams that are chasing us wouldn't get another win.
Yeah. Well, I was just asked, what is the significance of the Burnley fixture? I'm saying that if we end up with 32 points, I feel a lot better about Nuno.
Okay, so let's move on. But a bit better. Okay, it's fine.
Let me just add one point, Rob. I still feel. See, I would accept your argument more if you weren't putting it on the Burnley match and judging him on his tenure so far. Yeah. Because I just feel you're saying we could fluke a 1-0 win against Burnley. Yeah, they could outplay us completely and we just score a corner goal. Let's imagine that, right? And then would that change your stance? Would you be sitting here next week saying, well, we got the points, but we should have lost, blah, blah, blah. You see what I mean? Isn't it better to look at his tenure?
I'm getting... Under Nuno, we've had performances and not results, right? How many times have we played well and lost, right? Now, we've got away with that this year because of the 3 relegated teams being pretty much, I think, the 5th worst ever.
So much better than playing shit and losing, which is what was happening.
That's not Nuno's fault. If Wood misses a
I was quite happy with playing shit and winning, quite honestly.
No, we weren't, were we? What was Cooper's run before we had to sack him?
It would have been even worse.
You're just forgetting last season entirely, aren't you?
If Cooper was here, we would have played shit and still lost.
Let's not turn this into a Cooper battle. He's done, right? He's done.
But I feel like Rob's still pining for him. That's what I feel like.
I'm defending his legacy. I'm defending his legacy, remembering that quite a lot of supporters
do
think that.
His legacy is bringing us out of the Championship and getting us into the Premier League. Not last season. That
How
ain't
many
his
points
legacy.
did we get?
I'm keeping us up, and
no, not for me.
Not for me. The question is,
not for me. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Let me respond to that.
Go on.
Last season was a fucking disaster. We had far better players than our position suggested. So for me, no, he didn't do well last season. He did terribly last season. Terribly. So
Right, but what was worse, this season or last season?
Out of the championship.
What was worse, this season or last season?
The question I wanted to ask, and we can maybe put it in a poll, is which of it?
We're both shit, but we finished fourth from bottom both times. What's to shout about?
Absolutely. But in terms of difficulty, which one was a greater escape? Because as far as I'm concerned, barring, forget what Rob's thinking about next week. As far as I'm concerned, we're safe. Okay, let's say we're safe. What is a bigger achievement of a bigger escape, last season or this season? And I'd love to hear what the viewers think of that, because
I don't see any difference.
For me,
are you suggesting there's a difference?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. Absolutely, there is, and I'm taking into account the points deduction and everything that's happened this season, changing manager.
Do you think it's a better achievement what we've done this season than last season?
No, I don't. I think last year was.
No, I think
because
it was
the players we've got this season should not be wallowing down where they are.
I agree.
No, absolutely. Listen, the opposition below us, the three below us, it should have been a lot easier than it ended up being. But I think in terms of how the season's panned out, with the points deduction and everything else, I think this is a bigger escape. Put it that way.
I would have said last season was better.
I agree. Mainly because if you look at us now, we're adrift from Brentford. Even with the 4 points back on, we're adrift from Brentford. We're on our own in 17th. So that's why I said last year I thought but at no stage this year did I really think we were going down. Last year, especially after Leeds and Leicester, those matches, I was like, we're screwed.
But this was back to a point I made earlier a few shows ago about we never really spent too much time in the relegation zone this year because of the teams below us were so bad. I think a week was the longest time we spent in there. So we didn't have that psychological factor where we were spending weeks on end like last season.
Yeah.
And having to battle our way out of that relegation zone. So it was totally different from that point of view. But we always had the knowledge that, we're going to get a points deduction at some point. So that clearly played on the player's mind.
How many points did we finish on last season, Ez?
I think it's 38.
36, wasn't it? 36.
36.
Chat,
how many points, even with the points back, how many points are we finishing on this season?
If we beat Burnley, it'd be 36.
33 of the games to go.
That's what I'm saying. They're the same to me. They're the same. They're both shit.
But last year was harder because the opposition that was in there, your Leicesters, your Evertons.
Yeah, but it's like I say though, man, you can't do that. You've got to look at points. All
right. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah,
but look at this. I got 38 from Russell, 36 from Joker, and 34 from Gordon.
36, I'm sure it was.
Make your minds up.
I don't blame them. I want to wipe out last season and this season from my memory.
And I think that's what we need to do. Right, we got to talk about the striker situation. I don't know who wants to get. Maybe you, Crypto. I'm not convinced by the striker at the moment. Is where my gut is right now in terms of Wood and Taiwo. I don't know. What can I say? The balloon got bursting full time, right? This is what it is, right? We got to have these discussions. Wood, he can't score from 3 yards out. He can score from 25 yards out against Brighton, but not 3. Or was it Brighton?
That looked closer than 3 yards to me. He was right in front of us. He looked like he was virtually on the line.
Amazing. I think it's a confidence issue. I mean, it's been a few games now where he's missed sitters or hit the post or hit the bar. But I mean that ties into the Nuno thing as well. I'm not going to go back into it, but if you're talking about individual performances on the pitch, you can't blame Nuno for Wood missing the last 6 sitters that he's missed, which then gives you different results. But the problem Nuno's got is who's our backup striker? Because Awoniyi seems to be injured all the time, and then he comes back from injury, and then he's injured again, and then he comes on for 20 minutes, and then he doesn't play the next match because he's injured again, or he's not match fit, or whatever it is. So he's only really got Wood as an option. There is the young Ribeiro guy, but everybody says that he's not experienced enough yet for the Premier League. Personally, I would have given him a go because Wood's not contributing anything at the moment, but I'm not blaming Wood because I think Wood's been good for us. And if you take Wood out of the season, then we get relegated, basically. It's as simple as that. So everybody has off patches. But in the summer, the one position we need to definitely bring in is a striker because you can't be a Premier League club and have no solid backup strikers on the bench. Now, I know most strikers who are prolific are not going to want to sit on the bench, but you've got to have at least a few options. Because at the moment,
are you looking for a bench option, Crypto? Or are you looking for a starter? Because I'm looking. If I'm bringing in a number 9, I'm looking for a starter.
Both. But it depends. The thing is, I have no idea what Wood's performance is going to be like next season. He could score every game for all I know. I've got no idea if he's going to come back to, being the top converter in the Premier League. Who knows? But we need other options on the bench. 100%. We need to secure that, because there's been games where we should have won and we didn't, because we can't finish, basically. We can't get that final bit.
We've got bench options. One's called Taiwo, Awoniyi.
Yeah, but I've just said he's always injured. He's always injured.
No, I'm saying they're bench options. Ezra's right. We need a
yes, I agree. Yeah, you need starting options, but people who can compete for that position. But the finishing in this squad has been a problem all season. Not just for Wood, for Elanga, for Morgan Gibbs-White, for Yates. I know. Obviously, they have scored goals, but the majority of them they miss. And the finishing has not been good enough for a Premier League side. We don't take our chances. Other teams around us, they take their chances in front of goal. And Wood was doing it at a point, but now he's not. So something needs to change, because if we're in that situation again next year where we can't score goals, we'll be sat here again next year in our beachwear of having survived on goal difference.
I'm thinking now.
Go on.
Mr. Crypto,
I want to bring Rob in just before I do. The poll is up, and Rob, I'll probably phrase the question to you like I've got the poll here. Who would you want starting? Who do you want up front next year? Taiwo, Wood, or someone else? But just before you answer it, I got a funny super chat here from Sai. £12 from Sai. £1 for all the goals which Luton won't score and will not concede. Nuno in. Cooper out, up the forest. Sai, you're a legend.
Absolute legend.
Thanks. So yeah, Rob, go on.
Right. So I've got the solution, but you're not going to like it, and you're going to all rubbish it and make.
If you say outcome, man, I swear to God.
No.
Don't say Origi.
Don't start victim blaming yourself before you said anything, by the way.
We can hang on to both Awoniyi and Wood, but they're both back up. We need to sign somebody that's better than either of them. Now, the issue we've got is we will not accept any more PSR crap, right? So weirdly, we have to sell until the 30th of June to avoid getting a points deduction. And then as soon as we get to 1st of July, we can spend because we've had 3 years in the Premier League. It's
105, baby. Absurd. 105, yeah.
It's absolutely absurd. So we've got to try to satisfy that those rules until June the 30th, and then we can go crazy. Now, I think if we want to sign a striker who is better than Awoniyi or Wood, we need to have a budget of 40 to 60 million pounds on one player. We're going to have to spend more than we've ever spent before. And I hate to say it, my target, and somebody stole my lines, is Dominic Solanke. We need to buy that player for that amount of money, and we need
How the hell are you going to get Solanke when he's linked with like Arsenal and stuff?
Yeah. Is he though?
I don't even want him. I don't know why you want him. He's had half a good season.
Right. So if we are able to keep hold of Gibbs, White, and Murillo, right, and we could look, we are ambitious, and you don't get into the top half of the table without buying a striker from the top half of the table. You ain't going to do it signing Carlton Morris or Adebayo or Brereton Diaz, or signing strikers from teams that have just got relegated, right? Now, the thing is with Solanke, he's played 4 years in the Championship, 2 years in the Premiership. The first year in the Premiership, he wasn't totally convincing. This last season, he's been excellent, right? That hat-trick he scored for Bournemouth, I saw all of 3 of those goals at close range through Matt Turner's goal.
That's Matt Turner. You've just said it.
I've seen Haaland at the City Ground this year, and I'm telling you, Solanke is the best opposition striker I've seen. Now he's going to go somewhere.
Jim.
Yeah, but Matt Haaland wasn't facing Matt Turner in goal, so you can't really compare that.
Well, I think that we should try at least.
I get Rob's point. I kind of agree with Rob mostly here. I just don't think Solanke would join Forest.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
why.
think he had the audience until Solanke.
He's not good enough for Forest. What are you talking about?
Why would he join? Why would he join Forest?
So hang on. Half are saying he's too good for us, and then the half are saying he's not good enough. I told you no one would agree, but if you think about it tomorrow, you'll think, he might have been right there.
No, I'm not saying he's not good.
They're a chicken shit outfit, right? They're not a real club.
Ant's right. Ant's right. He was Chris Wood. He had a purple patch. He didn't even have a whole good season. He was crap in the first 10 games. He had a purple patch.
I said 6 months. He had
19 goals this season isn't enough for you.
Chris Wood's got 12 and he can't score from 2 yards out. What's the difference?
Right, so hang on. Are we saying Solanke's not good enough for Forest? Or
he's 26 years old, Rob. He's 26 years old and he has one half of a good season.
Yeah, I think he's overrated, personally.
Look, I don't mind which way you want the argument. You can say he's not good enough, and you can say he won't come to Forest. They're not mutually exclusive, in my opinion.
Well, it's overpriced as well.
Yeah,
but it's always going to be a struggle to get a really good striker to come to Forest because they're going to want to go to the top 6.
Exactly, and I think that's the point. Should Forest not be looking?
A crazy cat lady, sorry.
Evening.
I mean, there is
we had a vote. Crazy cat lady, believe it or not, we had a vote to see who looked.
Yeah,
what was the vote?
9%.
9%. Look what your 9%. Back onto the point. Right? Should Forest not be looking for the Murillo equivalent up front? You're not going to get Solanke if you think he's good enough or not, right? You're not going to get who else is being touted out in that Solanke bracket. Tony's voting. Yeah. Should we not be? Yeah, but how do we know Ribeiro's not the right one? How do we know? We haven't seen him play.
He looks good on international.
We've been linked with Dangerous Duxha.
Who? Say that again, Ant.
Dangerous Duxha. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Ducksch.
Duck shit.
Plays for Werder Bremen. And we tried to get him last season, but we couldn't afford him. But now, evidently, he's got a £5 million buyout clause. And
I'd like to see us maybe buy 2 players in that position, and one will definitely come good. We've done that before in other positions.
Goalkeepers, like Turner and Vlachodimos, they were both awful.
Yeah, but it's not the same. You scout them properly. Whoever scouted Matt Turner, they're fraud. They're fraud. We're not. I don't want to talk about Matt Turner because I'll lose my rag literally.
You do rag.
Look, I think we need options. We need options. I don't think someone like Solanke is going to come to Forest. I don't see why he would. What benefit?
Useless twat.
200 grand a week.
There is a player.
What are about fucking Solanke for? Half a good season. He's 26 years old.
There's a player who's available. He has just resigned from PSG. I'd like to see him in the number 9.
I guess one of those.
Don't tell me you wouldn't want to see it.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. David's not far off. Broja. Okay.
About, by the way.
Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, exactly. He comes to Forest.
I think David's more on the line, right? David's saying Broja, the Chelsea guy on loan to Fulham. Guirassy we were linked with. I don't know if he's carried on being hot. I haven't really been keeping up with the Bundesliga.
No, I haven't.
Mateta, no thanks. I mean, Nicky's smoking something.
What about Mudryk? Another player.
What
6
about
good games and he's worth 80 million? Honestly, man, don't look at players that have had a short spurt
look at Bundesliga players. Makoko from the Bundesliga. He's brilliant. Someone like that, it probably costs about 20 so mil. A Bundesliga player, up and coming, 20, 21 years old, got experience there, scoring goals. Someone like that. That's the type of Murillo type player, a young player who can, Cho type player.
Or a Tammy Abrahams. I like Tammy Abrahams.
I mean, we haven't really
that's a better shout, Rob. I would have gone with you on that. I would agree.
We haven't really explored the link with George Mendes, have we? And seen what players are going to be available to us. So that's another reason for me to keep hold of Nuno, and let's see what the conversations are over the summer.
Yeah, but
our hands were very much tied in January, weren't they? And it was something that we didn't really get to see. Go on, what were you saying?
Well, I was going to say, okay, but let's ask the more important question here. Okay, I'll start with you, Ez. What is? Did you really write that, Rob? Get Selenzi back.
Well, I've got.
Yeah, good. Let's ask the more important question. I'll do this as a poll as well, and I think we've got it up on Twitter. Ez, what's the first priority that Forest need to address positionally? Is it goalkeeper? Is it defense? Is it midfield? Is it a winger or is it a striker? Is striker the first thing here? Because there are a lot of chat. Get your comments in, but we'll do it as a poll as well.
I mean, it has to be a combined thinking and all of that. You got to be looking at the players that are going to be linking up and looking at have a more holistic view of it. But if you're just looking at position by position, I've got to say I've agreed with some of what the guys have said. We've created some fantastic chances this season, and for whatever reason, whether it's been a Chris Wood off form or no really real fit striker in that position, we've missed a lot of gilt-edged chances. So for me, striker, yeah, I'd agree with Carol on this.
Really?
One. Striker, yeah, striker's a priority. I think goalkeeper-wise, you're still going to look at it, but if you put a gun to my head and said, yeah, I can get one position filled for next season and I can't change anything else, I'd say striker. Definitely.
What are you saying, Ant?
Yeah. I have no problem with our goalkeeper. I think he's fine. I don't know if it can improve, of course. If it can improve, yeah, of course. But certainly nowhere, for me personally, nowhere near the top of the list of priorities. I mean, there's 3 or 4 places I want before looking at the goalkeeper. Striker's definitely one of them, probably the number one.
Is that your number one?
Yeah, but the problem is we know. Yeah, because as quite rightly pointed out, we've missed a lot of good chances, and with a good, with a more reliable striker. But they're so hard to come by, aren't they? And are we going to end up with another one of a similar quality, rather than somebody that we can look at and think, yeah.
And have you seen that message?
I saw Mangala.
Yeah, Mangala just scored.
Hashtag free Mangala.
Rob, what are you saying?
I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah, that's not they're all saying it now. Mangala just scored.
Yeah, the other position, right wing centre back. Murillo's going, so we need a replacement centre back and a right wing.
I'm surprised by you lot so far.
100%. If Murillo does go, we need a centre back because if you're playing 3 at the back,
but Crypto, what's the priority for you? What's number one priority?
The priority for me, the thing is, I don't know how good Ribeiro is. I don't know. So if he's decent, and we have actually got, in theory, 3 strikers, then the priority for me would probably be an MGW replacement, control the 10 role. However, if Ribeiro's not good and we effectively have 2 strikers and one of them's always injured and one of them can't score from 2 yards out, then it would be a striker for me.
But you're putting different criteria on the question. So
but I don't know the situation. I don't know the situation.
So if you're going to add a little bit to it, but if you're going to say, you need a MGW replacement, then obviously that's your first priority.
If right now, if I could have one player right now who I think would have
the squad's the same, you can only change one position.
Right, look, if there was a player right now, a position right now, who could have affected, say, the last 5 games, for me, it has to be the striker. Because if we'd have converted some more of those chances, we'd have more points now, and we'd be safe mathematically.
Rob, what are you saying?
I think the old adage, hope for the best and plan for the worst, is probably the correct thing to do. So regarding a striker, you hope that Taiwo is going to be fit. You hope that Chris Wood's going to, but let's plan for the worst and assume we're not going to.
Like say, all it happens is for one of them to be injured, and that's it. You've only got one key striker again all season.
Exactly.
Right,
Rob, where are you, Rob? What position?
Right.
See you later, Carl.
Very simple. Break the bank and sign Solanke. That is my. Yeah, right. Okay, you can all react like that, but if we did it, if I told you,
he won't come.
If we signed Solanke for 45 million, you would not be sitting there going, "Oh, he's shit."
Yeah, but why would he come? I don't understand why.
I'm not doing a Solanke debate. You're saying striker.
No, exactly.
Yeah, you're saying striker.
Break his transfer record.
He's off their fucking rocker. I'm telling you.
Hold on. You're all wrong though. You're all We need midfield. Our 6 and 8 isn't good enough. I'm sorry. Like Danilo's too inconsistent. Yates isn't a CDM. Everyone's going on about Sangare. We don't have a CDM.
What are you saying about Sangare? We need to replace him.
No, I'm saying I need to see him play. We haven't seen him. Yeah, but I'm just saying at the moment, as you said, Ez, with the squad we've got, you got to say Sangare's been cast out. He's out of form. He hasn't done it. Whatever stance you want. The midfield is still the problem. If you can't control the midfield, you can't control the match. So you can put, as Crypto wants, you want Mbappe up front, cool. How are you going to get the ball to him when we're not controlling the game from the midfield? And that starts with the six.
We have the players, but your manager is picking the wrong players.
That's the ball goes to Chris Wood a lot.
He's yours.
The thing is, you could bring in Primes in Zidane, and he still play Yates ahead of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but okay, I'm just saying.
Danilo and Dominguez in that midfield.
Forget it. Sangare is not in form.
Four midfielders.
Sangare is not in form. Yates is not a CDM. Yates is not a CDM. Dominguez is not a CDM. Danilo's inconsistent.
Sangare is a CDM.
I know. I said he's out of form.
£5 million.
Yeah, we've got loads.
He's out of form. He doesn't play. No, he doesn't play. How do you know he's out of form? He never plays.
Well, because if I say he's good, then the chat is gonna rip my dick off, right? So I'm just saying. But I'm just saying the 6 and the 8 is still the problem for Forest, man.
It's not because we've got Sangare and Dominguez and Danilo. It's not a problem.
It is.
It's the manager that's the problem, not the players.
I don't think it's a priority problem, no.
You lot don't know what you're talking about, then.
No. So what are you going to do with Sangare, then?
It's your manager.
Are you talking about getting rid of players? Yeah. Are you talking about getting rid of Sangare, then?
No.
He's obviously part of it. Or are you going to play him in form?
These are all shit midfielders, according to him.
I didn't say that. By that logic, then you're saying Wood shit and Taiwo shit. By that logic, you're saying Wood and Taiwo shit. Because you want a new striker.
But your logic, no, but Wolfie, by your logic, you're saying give up on Sangare. He's not part of the.
No, I'm not. I'm saying the priority.
That's a priority position then. We've already got the players.
You have one player per position. Is that what you're saying?
I know, but I'm saying it's not the priority position. The priority is a striker. The priority is to play Sangare into form. You've got somebody there. You paid nearly 40 million for him.
It's not. Sorry. You tell me a game, I don't care who's played in midfield, where we've been able to control the midfield over the last 2 years.
Because of the manager.
Last 2 years. Yeah, but at some point, every single one of those midfielders have played.
Mangala's coming back. That's it. Mangala's coming back.
No, he couldn't control the midfield either.
Yeah, he couldn't control a midfield.
On his own.
On his own or not, or you could put all 7 of our midfielders on. They can't control the midfield. That's the problem.
Mangala could.
He's not playing him in the right position.
Okay, so who's your solution?
What you want me to say? Solanke in midfield? Is that what you want?
Have you got players in mind?
Well, we'll have videos of players in mind, but I'm sorry, the 6 and the 8 is still the problem.
It's not. Danilo's brilliant.
Getting them playing
brilliant
together.
player.
He's not consistent, and he's not consistent.
Yeah, but he's Brazilian.
Another year of experience.
Exactly the point. You're saying he's a boy. I'm not saying he's crap. I'm saying he still is inconsistent and will get better. But we are where we are now. You're complaining about 29 points.
Next season.
Go on.
Now you're getting rid of a fantastic.
Did I say get rid? Did I say get rid?
Yeah, but you will. If you bring a player in to replace him, he won't.
If that player's better, get rid of Murillo if he's better than Murillo.
Who's going to score goals for us? Need someone to score goals at the other end of the pitch.
The sad thing is that Mangala and Sangare was actually quite a good partnership the few times it played together.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how we get from what we've just been playing to that. It's a bit of a jump, really. Like one player who's currently on the loan and the other one who's way out in the cold. But those two were actually quite good part. Like the Newcastle game, they played together. There was a couple of other games. They looked decent. In fact, I'm pretty sure I said quite a long time ago that playing alongside Sangare had brought the best out of Mangala. That was in the sort of first third of the season. But I just don't know how we get back to that. From where we are now, because it means leaving out Danilo and Dominguez and Yates. It just means actually none of them are going to two guys, one of whom's currently on loan, and the other one is way out in the cold. But those two, we should acknowledge, those two were actually quite good together. Several games.
So we've got the players,
we have options. We have options in midfield. We don't have options up front.
Yeah,
just because they're options, it doesn't mean they're good options, man. That's the point I'm making.
Either one of them's injured or they're both injured.
Options on the bench.
They're either both injured or one's injured. One's on the way back from injury. The other one's going out for injury. That's partly why we're in this freaking situation we have been this year. Now, I don't mind. Taiwo can be injured all he likes if he's third choice, right? But the problem was him getting injured cost Cooper his job, right? we can have both of those as backup strikers, but you need to break the bank to bring
that did not cost Cooper his job. You can't say that when Nuno comes in and gets a tune out of Chris Wood. You can say Cooper couldn't get a tune out of Chris Wood, and that cost him his job, not Taiwo getting injured.
Yeah, it's not just. Yeah, to be fair, Rob, it's not just one player getting injured.
That's the only reason Mangala got sold.
Let's not go back there again. Let's not go back there again.
Yeah,
my point is that between, you can include Yates if you like. I wouldn't, but you can include Yates between Yates, Dominguez, Sangare,
Danilo.
I mean, Mangala would be lovely. Danilo, MGW. We've got
loads.
But so overloaded in midfield. He's got to get a tune out of those players.
We're not.
Wolfie.
The midfield is...
You prioritise bringing in a midfielder and leaving the attack as it is.
Yeah.
It's quite frankly ludicrous.
No, it's not.
Why is that ludicrous, mate?
Because you're bringing in a position. You're bringing into an area where we've got plenty of cover and good players, and you're ignoring an area where we haven't. And it'd be the
same problem next season. It'd be the same problem next season. If Awoniyi's injured, then Wood has to play the whole season. It's unfair.
It will be the same problem next season. We won't control a single midfield in a single match. That's where the game is won and lost.
A manager that plays the right players in the right positions on a consistent basis. Surely
you've got your manager, and the manager's not changing.
If you can't score, you can't win a game. You can't get
manager pick Yates over Dominguez. I will never accept that.
Yeah,
I accept that. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. That's not the point, though.
He's the right man for the job, so you must accept it.
No, I'm saying he's perfect. Have I ever said that?
Well, I want a perfect manager. I don't want some knobhead who's puts Yates in above Dominguez.
The perfect manager's at Fulham. We're not getting him.
This argument about
Mr. Marinakis, big bollock. Let's go and get him.
But this argument about losing a midfield battle, how many times, apart from yesterday, can you remember teams cutting us open and scoring goals like that? We've conceded goals from goalkeeper mistakes, set pieces, and giving a ball away on the edge of our penalty area. How many times have we lost that midfield battle to the stage that
and we've lost games there only because we couldn't finish, not because of the midfield.
But if you take out our like 22 conceded goals from set pieces, we're actually one of the best defensive teams in the league.
Yeah, we are.
Exactly.
If you took out all the mistakes that every other team did in the league as well.
Argument, Wolfie. I understand.
Wolfie, you got to agree with everything else.
And all that. I understand that, but it is an interesting fact. If you take out the set piece situation,
or even half of them,
actually coped very well.
Okay, so how many of those teams have cut us open? We've lost in games against teams that we should have beat around us, and we played well against.
Well, we haven't scored. We haven't finished. All those chances that Langer and Wood have
losing the midfield battle.
We've been
if we sign you know who, we'll get 6 points off Bournemouth next year. We will, because he won't score for them, and he will score for us.
They're going to be our bogey team until they get relegated again. Don't worry.
Can we do a like count? We've got 900 viewers in here and only 200 likes.
I'm not surprised. I think I should do a poll. We should do a would you sign Solanke poll. I think that it might be a sneak.
Guys, get us to 350.
If every single person on this planet said yes, we should, I would still disagree. So I don't care what they say.
And it doesn't matter if we did a poll on it, and the only option would be no. And if we did a poll, the only option would be no. So there you go. But just look, the chatter with you guys. Okay, 59% is saying attacker is the priority. 19% saying midfield. 18% saying defense. 5% saying goalkeeper. I'll tell you guys now, only 19% of you in the chat are correct. So well done to the 19%.
You haven't even given us a decent argument, mate. You haven't given us a decent.
How have I not
argument,
made a
mate.
decent argument? There are three games. There are three games in 2 years where Forest have had more possession than the opposition. Now, possession isn't the be all and end all. I understand, but you build with possession. Do not tell me you do not get frustrated when you see these freaking Red Seas opening up in our midfield. You see 11 men behind the ball.
What? Yeah, but we sold our best possession player.
You've just said it yourself. That's not because of the personnel. That's because of the tactics that we.
No, I'm saying it's the tactics and the manager and the players.
Why did we sell Mangala, who is our best ball player?
Okay, let me ask you this. Hold on. Who's got the better? Wait. Let me ask you this. Who's got the better strike force, Everton or Forest? You got Calvert-Lewin and Beto, whatever his name is, versus Wood and Taiwo, right? Who's the better strike force?
Both crap.
I agree, but who's better?
Yeah. Technically, ours are better. But they haven't scored big goals from open play. They scored from set pieces. They've scored most goals from set pieces of any team.
Yeah, and what else have they done, man? What else have they done? They've been solid as a unit because they have a CDM who's decent in Idrissa Gana Gueye. And when he's been out their team, they've struggled. When he's in their team, they do well. It starts from the midfield. I don't know how you guys don't get that. It starts from the midfield.
Well, we've got loads of options.
Hang on. Who are you saying is the better strike force, Everton or
Us?
Why? Why are you saying that?
Because they got more goals.
Calvert-Lewin and
Beto.
Taiwo won. You cancel each other out because they're both knackered. Right? They're both out of the season.
Yeah.
So it's between Beto and Wood. So Wood's,
12 goals versus 2.
Yeah, okay.
Taiwo's got 10 versus 3.
The weak midfield that Beto scored less goals than Wood. It's not strong. You're trying to sideline from the point, Ant. You're trying to sideline from the point. And who's got the best midfield in the league? In the league, I would say Arsenal.
One of the top 2.
Yeah. Have Arsenal got a striker? Have Arsenal got a striker?
Yeah, Jesus.
Not really, I wouldn't say.
Okay, there you go. And Mike's dropped.
We can't compare their level of players
on the pitch.
Yes, I can because their midfield controls the game.
Yeah, but they score as well. Elanga
but I've always said that midfield is the most important part of the pitch. It's just not a weakness for us.
It is a weakness.
Our players can't score. No one's back.
Time out. Let's do the super chat.
I don't know why I went down this rabbit hole.
Bird, I can't believe. Yeah, so much for freaking on the beach. It just ends up in a goddamn argument. Bird lover BL
on the beach. We'd still be at it.
Honestly. Thank you so much for the £10. That's way too generous.
Chocolate's much better than vanilla. No, it's not.
I like strawberry. Loving the banter and the attire, guys. Thank you so much for the £10, guys. Please don't forget to hit the like button. If, like Bird Lover, you like the attire and want to grab 15% off the Hawaiian shirts, then ! FOCO in the chat. Use code FFTV15. That will get you 15% off. All right, we got to wrap up, man. It's been 1 hour 40. We didn't talk about the game at all, man. We just argued away as always.
Wait, can I just warn the guys? Can I just say, for anybody ordering one of these shirts, order a size lower. Don't order a size up unless you're crypto.
Mate, I need like 2 sizes bigger.
Martin bought one and he bought a large and he says it swamped him. So yeah, don't go for it.
Yeah, but
Crypto bought a large, so he can't do any buttons.
It's got an XL, man.
He's got an XL, hasn't he? Yeah. He's struggling with an XL, bro.
It's true to size. Okay, let's finish with a positive note.
That makes me a quadruple XL.
All right, let's finish with a positive note from each person because I am sweltering in this room with all these lights.
I've got the thing on as well.
All right, hit the likes because the amount we've sweated. Hit the likes. Rob, give me a positive from either the game or the season. Let's go happy clapper here. Right, give me one positive. Don't like hit with 3 all at once, Rob. Yeah.
Right, Callum Hudson-Odoi because he isn't leaving. If I named either of the other people, someone would say, yeah, but they're going. So that's a sad happy. So Callum Hudson-Odoi, I feel like he's good and he's going to stay. So I've actually got more hope connected with him than I have with either of the other individuals.
Okay.
Things to it.
That's pretty positive. I'll accept it. Crypto.
I'll give you the biggest positive, which should have been basically the whole stream. We are Premier League. All these negative Nellies everywhere. We're Premier League for another year. That's what matters. That's what counts. It doesn't matter if you want Nuno in, Nuno out. It doesn't matter if we have to work on everything next season. We're still Premier League. We could have been sat here saying we're in the Championship. So thank yourselves lucky that we're here for another season. Onwards and upwards.
Love it. Love it. Ez?
Just echoing what Crypto said, really.
No, you gotta come up with your own point. Sorry.
I'm grateful, mate, to be honest. In hindsight, waking up this morning, I was upset yesterday because of the way the game went and how good the atmosphere was up until the 80th minute. It was unbelievable. So I was left deflated, as I've said. But waking up this morning, the one thing I wanted to do is not have to worry about the last game of the season. I didn't want to have to worry about the last game of the season, and we don't have to worry about the last game of the season. So that's the plus point coming out of yesterday. The results from thank you to West Ham and thank you to Spurs as well. I didn't think I'd ever hear myself say that, but although Jono did his best not to help us out, bloody hit the post, misses an open goal. What was he playing?
Got an assist.
Right, don't get negative, Nelly. It's fine.
No,
it's
but
fine. 48 mil.
The job was done, and I woke up this morning knowing we're still Premier League, as Crypto says. So that is the plus point, and I'm gonna just focus on next. Take the rest of the summer off, starting from today. I don't care about next week. I might not even bother to watch a game.
You better because we got GOR after it.
If we lose 12,
oh yeah, shit. I have to do another show, don't I? Another couple of shows. Okay, and then I'm out signing out for the summer. But yeah, I'm just relieved, and let's just look forward to a chilled out summer. Let's not get too involved in what's going to happen in the transfer window, but we do need to sell players before the 30th. And then just see what happens next season. But come on, you Reds, man. I'm proud of us staying up, man. I'll take it.
Yeah, and chat, I'm loving your happy clapper comments. Keep them coming in. I'm bringing them up as they go. It's my favorite. Bye-bye, Jimmy. Go on, what's your happy clapper statement?
Right, okay. So, as I says, as we all say, we've stayed up. That's the most important thing.
Come up with your own.
Once again, football fans, we're eternally hopeful, aren't we? Every year, this is a new season. It might all be better next season. I think it will be better next season. We've got some good players. Hopefully, the manager can get it right. But and one of the best things about this season for me has obviously been this channel, the viewers, the community. Absolutely kept us going when we've been down, made us laugh, made us angry, just fantastic. And the great thing is that because we're in the Premier League next season, we can do it all over again.
Yes.
We were going to do it even if we got relegated, maybe. Sorry, yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. The channel goes on for at least another year. Let me give you my one. Let me give you my one. Mine's the best one, right? And you guys are going to have to agree with me. This is the best one, right? Oh, gosh. On Monday, after the Burnley match, we will be level on points with Man City. Come on, how good is that going to be? How good is that going to be?
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Come on, that's the best one. Surely. That deserves a few likes, surely. No tumbleweed.
Is that tumbleweed, Ed? That tumbleweed.
It's true. It's true. We will be level on points with Man City and Arsenal.
Big drop moment. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, on that note, chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. There was nearly 1,000 of you in here. Oh, a late super chat from Sharky. Say F off to Luton Supporters Trust. Don't worry, Sharky. That's coming this week. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button. Get your beachwear out if you need. And don't forget to get your Callum Hudson-Odoi and who's the other one? Alanga ticket. Signed frame shirt tickets. The link's pinned in the chat. We'll see you on tomorrow's video. Come on, you Reds.
You
Reds.